Brandon was going to be speaking there tonight. I live in Jamestown, Kentucky, and thought maybe I could drive up for tomorrow night's service.
Hey everybody, just wanted to give you an update for this last weekend. We were in Kentucky in Winchester, and we were ministering at a church called Grace on Main with Pastor Lee Cruz, a good friend of ours, and a remnant pastor, a remnant church. And we were able to do a prophecy conference for them and get the ministry out of Rock Harbor to a new audience. So it was a great weekend. We talked about all kinds of prophetic development that are going on in the world, and we expose people to a lot of the current events that are going to affect them here and now. So it was a great ministry. There was good people, and here's the thing that we found out. Yes, we are in the Bible Belt, but unfortunately, the Bible Belt is not what it used to be. In fact, there's a lot of cultural Christianity that's happening in the Bible Belt, and except for like the church we were at and some other remnant churches that are spread out, unfortunately, the same thing that's happening in California is happening in the Bible Belt. So for instance, we ran into a gal at the hotel who was working at the hotel, and she was asking us what we were doing here, and we were telling her we're doing a prophecy conference talking about current events and all the weird stuff that is happening in the world. And we were telling her we were from California and all the bad stuff that's happening in California. Well, she went ahead and said, well, we know that stuff's not gonna come here, and so we're not gonna really pay attention. And we know better than that, because that night we went out to dinner and we went to a place, and a transgender guy served us our dinner. And so a lot of these people in the Bible Belt sometimes are just checked out. They don't even know what's happened. And so what's happening in California is happening here in Kentucky and around the United States. Now, don't get me wrong. This remnant church that we were at, they're fighting the good fight of faith. They're fighting all the things that are coming in to corrupt their city, to corrupt Kentucky. And I got to give them credit, man. They are fighting the good fight, because very few people are fighting. And so they get a lot of backlash, but yet, like us, they're in the trenches and they're fighting the good fight of faith. So it's neat to see that there are other remnant churches spread out through the United States. There's not a lot, but they are there and doing the work of the Lord. And so our job is, as a remnant church, is to help people wake up to the fact of what's really going on, not only in America, but around the world. So once again, thank you for loaning us out so we can spread the message of the gospel and the prophetic scenario to people that need to know how to connect dots. It was a great time of ministry, and thanks again.
Guys, I really enjoyed this. I mean, gosh, in some ways I don't want it to end.